my beloved child, keep your hand closed for a moment. I did not come to force your fingers open. I am not here to shame you for holding on. I know exactly why your grip became so tight. You've been holding on through a season of darkness, through uncertainty, exhaustion, disappointment, and silence. You held on when you could not see what you were holding. You held on when you could not tell whether the pressure around you was an attack or whether someone was holding you close. And yet you remained. So hear me clearly. Your grip has not failed. You have mistaken endurance for defeat because the struggle has lasted longer than you expected. You looked at the length of the night and assumed it was evidence that you were losing. You counted the hours. You counted the disappointments. You counted the unanswered prayers. You counted the doors that remained closed. And eventually, you began using those numbers as evidence against yourself. But the length of your struggle does not determine the strength of your faith. The fact that you are still here means something. You did not walk away. You did not completely surrender to despair. You are still reaching, still praying, still searching, still listening. That matters. Look at yourself for a moment. Notice the tension in your shoulders. Notice the way your jaw tightens, even when nothing is happening. Notice how your body remains prepared for something to go wrong, even when the room is quiet. That tension did not appear because you are weak. It came because you have been braced for a long time. You have been carrying something for so long that your body learned the posture of survival. And I am not here to condemn you for that. I am here to meet you there. Some people have told you, just let go. They have told you that if you would simply surrender everything, peace would immediately arrive. But I am not asking you to release your grip on me. Hold on to me. Hold on when you understand. Hold on when you do not. Hold on when the answer comes quickly. Hold on when heaven seems silent. Your grip on me is not the problem. There is another hand you have forgotten about, and that is what I want to talk to you about. You think there is only one hand involved in this struggle. One hand holding on. One person trying to survive one long night. But there are two. The second hand is near your face. It is not a fist. It is flat against your mouth, and it has been there for longer than you realize. You have been holding back something you desperately need to say, not because you do not know what it is. You know. You have known for years. You simply learned that certain truths were safer when kept inside. You learned to say, I'm fine, when you were not. You learned to smile when you wanted to cry. You learned to explain circumstances instead of describing what those circumstances did to your heart. You became very good at telling people what happened without ever telling them what you began to believe about yourself because of what happened. And you have done something similar with me. You come into prayer and explain everything. You tell me who hurt you. You tell me what happened. You tell me what you tried. You tell me how long you have been waiting. You give me every detail. And I already know every detail. What you rarely tell me is the sentence you formed about yourself in the middle of it all. That is what your other hand has been guarding. You are not hiding your circumstances from me. You are hiding the conclusion you drew about yourself. Somewhere along the way, you began believing a word about who you are, a cruel word, a condemning word, a word you would never want someone else to use against you. Yet you have used it against yourself again and again. When you make a mistake, that word appears. When something good happens, that word whispers that you do not deserve it. When someone appreciates you, that word tells you they do not really know you. When your prayers seem unanswered, that word gives you an explanation that hurts more than silence. You have repeated it so often that you hardly notice anymore. It has become automatic. But I notice. I have heard it. And I want you to understand something. That word is not my voice. You learned it somewhere. Perhaps someone said it to you. Perhaps circumstances taught it to you. Perhaps you began saying it to yourself because believing it felt easier than continuing to hope. But what you have repeated does not become truth simply because you have repeated it for years. You are not your worst moment. You are not the name someone gave you in anger. You are not the failure you still replay. You are not the rejection you experienced. You are not the mistake you cannot forgive yourself for making. And you are not the sentence you have secretly spoken over your own life. I want you to put your hand over your throat. Feel the place where your words begin. Feel the movement when you swallow. That is where the hidden sentence has lived. You thought you were protecting yourself by keeping it there. But what once protected you has become a prison. The danger may have left the room a long time ago. The hand remained. And now you are sitting in a quiet place, still guarding yourself from something that is no longer standing in front of you. My child, I am not asking you to expose yourself to unsafe people. I am not asking you to tell everyone your deepest wounds. I am asking you to stop hiding your deepest truth from me. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to clean up your language before you come to me. You do not have to make your pain sound beautiful. Say the ugly thing. Say the difficult thing. Say the word you are ashamed to admit you have been calling yourself. Whisper it if you cannot speak it loudly. I am not standing far away. A whisper reaches me. And when you finally say the word, do not expect condemnation. Expect me to answer it. Because there is a difference between something being true in your experience and